Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Trio of Positivity podcast. We are streaming live on Facebook, and for the first time ever, we're streaming live on YouTube. I am one of your
Oh,
co-hosts, Chris, alongside my Positivity Brigade member, Miller, and we are going to be talking about what happened today with our beloved Chicago Bears, which, not gonna lie, caught me off guard. But before we get into the recap, we're gonna do our plugs. If you haven't already, please give us a like, a follow, and a subscribe on YouTube. We're gonna try to post a couple of these videos on our YouTube, and I've been saying it for a couple times. The crew is camera shy. They don't want to necessarily do live episodes yet. Eventually, hopefully, we'll get one down the line. But with that being said, Miller, how are you? Happy Sunday.
this face ain't ever camera shy.
The face is something. If it's one thing, it's
beautiful.
I will say I kissed that face multiple times in my life.
I'm feeling good, Dad. I don't even know what to say there.
Yeah, I don't know what you were about to say. I thought we were about to get canceled for a second.
I was about to say, Dad. I'm feeling good, Dad.
Well, to start,
good. I'm excited, man. Great game today.
Yes, the Chicago
Super
Bears.
Bowl, here we come.
Super Bowl, here we come. The Chicago Bears beat the Detroit Lions.
Who had that over-under? Who had that over-under of, what, a minute and a half, 2 minutes before you said Super Bowl for the playoffs?
You said it, not me. So don't try to put me in that column, because we all know what's going to happen if we actually do that. Well, let's get a quick recap. Bears won 28-13 against the NFC North leading Lions. It was a very interesting game to watch. We're gonna get a lot of the stats out of the way, because Miller and I have this thing where I tend to screw up. His goal is to keep me in line. So we're going to do the recap of the stats first. That's what we're going to do. We're going to try our best, but that's what we're sticking with. All right.
Just keep in mind, everybody, that this is recorded and we officially have Chris on the record saying that he screws up a lot. So let's go. That's a great way to start this episode.
Also, before I start, can I just say that the way that they're pricing liquor in some of these places in Illinois?
Oh my God.
Hold on. So I went to the store, and there was a great deal on Modelos, right? For a 12-pack, it was $15. This is
why people don't watch us, because you fucking ramble at the beginning.
Listen, I know I'm rambling, but I just want to get this point across. Christ. It was $15 for a 12-pack, which is pretty good, but you had to buy two. Daddy bought 2 cases, okay?
Buy 4.
I could have, but the limit was 2, according to the coupon. All right, back to the recap. We're going to start with the away team. Jared Goff went 20 of 35 for 161 yards, threw 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He was sacked 4 times. Highest receiver of the game for them was Josh Reynolds with 44 yards. Rushing was not something I was expecting, but David Montgomery was tied for yards with Jahmyr Gibbs at 66, with Gibbs scoring a touchdown. For the good guys, Justin Fields went 19 of 33 for 223 yards. He threw a touchdown, and he was sacked 3 times. The most impressive thing that I got out of this game is that DJ Moore and Cole Kmet were finally used the way that I've been wanting them to get used the whole
time. If you
DJ
say
Moore
it
had
6 times,
I am doing the recap, good sir. I'm doing the recap. DJ Moore had 6 receptions for 68 yards. Cole Kmet 5 for 66. Fields led the team in rushing with 58 yards, but our boy Dante Foreman, 50 yards, and continues to be the workhorse, I believe.
All right, let's get into it. Let's get into the good stuff.
Let's get into it. I think that was a successful recap. I think that was a very successful.
Talk too much. It was basically like, when our other co-host Boopin dives into the fantasy
podcast owner Boopin, please get it right.
That's exactly what you just did, but it's fine. Let's focus on the pride and joy of Illinois.
Oh God.
Justin Fields, like you said, he put up a little over 200 passing yards. He put up a little over 55 rushing yards. He had a solid day today. I can't complain too much. I mean, I don't know, dude. At the end of the day, he's still fucking inconsistent. It's like 1 minute he's throwing bombs to DJ Moore where you couldn't place the ball better.
Yeah.
And then the next minute he misses a wide open Cole Kmet in the flat. And it's just like, fuck, dude. Why can't you make me like you more?
I will say there was a bad overthrow that Fields did to DJ Moore. Like, it was bad. But other than that, I was kind of fine with how he played. One thing I will say though about Fields is you can kind of tell like he's focusing on like one receiver for a little bit, and if that one receiver is not available, it's his mind is already thinking of moving. So that is kind of nice to see. According to the recap here, we kind of did touch up on a little bit on Fields. Are we looking to continue the bashing of Fields, or are we are you looking to get into some stuff here?
That was barely even touching into Fields.
Okay.
We just talked high level. I don't know. What did you think overall with Fields and how he did? Like, I know he missed a few throws. He had an overthrow, but I mean, he made 2 throws that make you just sit down and say, "Fuck."
Yeah.
It's just inconsistency. Like, man, I was about to bash the Bears after that
too.
4th and 13 fucking. If they wouldn't have nailed that fucking pass, because we had 2 possessions inside the 50, and we weren't going to score if he didn't throw that bomb. But it was a thing of beauty, that's for sure.
You could definitely tell that he is in place with Moore. It's actually very nice to see. The group chat, which I kind of didn't partake in for the last couple of days, just because that group chat can cause headaches. It almost seemed like during the game we're kind of okay with Fields staying now. I think it's just one game, like the consensus of the group, the consensus of
everybody else is always on.
Yeah,
private parts.
Yeah, which sometimes it's well deserved. I think today is definitely a game that I could say he showed me something. Like I can definitely go out and say I was very happy to see his performance and see him kind of. I wouldn't say elevate himself. Would you say he elevated himself today?
No, that's what the hard part is, and we're just haters. We are haters.
We are haters.
It's just you see Carolina lose again, and it's just like, ugh. But like that's what I'm saying. He's inconsistent, and that's where I'm struggling. I'm struggling because it's like he shows these moments in the game where he can be that guy, but then the next drive he shows you the moment why he won't he might not take that step. And that's the thing I struggled with today. He had multiple times where there was guys in the flats and he just really bad throws. Thankfully, they didn't come to bite us in the booty, but like it definitely wasn't a negative day for him. He definitely proved his self-worth. But while I sit here and may not be sold on Fields, I feel like it's inching closer and closer for the team being sold on Fields, like you talked about with the DJ Moore connection.
Yeah, the one thing that I did enjoy today is just I could still nitpick on some of the play calling.
There was no wide receiver screens. Or very limited.
No, there was wide receiver runs.
There was, but one of those turned into a touchdown.
One of them turned into a touchdown. The other one was a fucking shit show. But that's, I think that the coaching staff can definitely work and kind of put themselves out there and at least try to get something going. I'm very happy with today's performance. So, with that being said, I am now ready to transition to what did we watch? Which why Miller put this in here, I have no fucking idea. But hey, I love him. Miller, what did you see?
Because the last time we were talking about this, we had it labeled as takeaways, and takeaways is another word for turnovers. So I changed the language. So now it's what did we just watch?
What did we?
And what we watched?
What did we watch?
Was Matt Eberflus and Montez Sweat in the defense declare their domination in the NFL and solidify themselves as one of the best for years to come. Maybe a little bit of over-exaggeration.
A little over-exaggeration there, just a tad.
But they planted their flag today, dude. The way they dominated this Detroit Lions team. I mean, the passing game was a joke. This is basically the Goff that everybody thought Goff was going to be. When he got traded from the Rams, this is exactly who everybody thought Goff was going to be. And he really hasn't been. He's really had a great 2 years. I think it was 2 years with Detroit. And to see the Bears do what they did, 4 sacks on defense, that he just never got into a rhythm. His wide receivers, St. Brown, what an embarrassing last few drives. He has one ball that hits him directly in the hand that drops. And then another ball that hits that he could have scooped up. That it was just like, dude, you're supposed to be a stud wide receiver and you can't do anything. But like the defense held the line like the entire game, allowing 2 scoring drives or 3?
Would be 2. I believe there was. Oh no, it would have been 2 scoring drives with.
Oh no, yeah, they scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and then they missed. So
2 touchdown drives in the second quarter. Outside of that, they held them in check. It was just like it was impressive watching this defense play. They're flying all around the field, getting turnovers, getting sacks, and this is multiple games. And this is against. It's sad to say because I don't know how real they are. An elite level offense, like throughout the season, they've been pretty good on the offensive side of the ball. And man, this defensive line made their number 1 rated offensive line look like shit.
A couple points. The Flus, we got to give congratulations to him. I don't know if we really want to. If this was not going to be a sad stat, shout out Jeff. The fact that this is now a winning streak, meaning more than one, because the Flus has not had consecutive wins as a Bears head coach. Now, do we applaud that?
Yeah.
Do we applaud that? Do we criticize it?
You have to applaud it.
I will applaud.
Yes, we make a joke. We make a joke out of it. But last year, what was last year? You can't keep holding last year over his head. It was a complete dismantling of a team. It was a tanked season. That's what it was. I don't think there's any 2 ways around it. So to sit here and start holding last year over this guy's head is, in my view, wrong. But you look at this team now, and I believe we've won 5 of our last 9 games, if I'm correct on that. And it's just like the defense is playing lights out from the secondary to the front. And it's all because of him, man. The Flus.
One sad stat that I would give as well, which I didn't want to research it. I'm trusting what I heard on the broadcast. This is the first time in 2 years the Bears have won 2 in a row.
I mean, we only had like 3 wins last year, and we only have like 4 wins this year. So
5. Really... We have 5 now.
5 wins. So is it really that surprising?
It's just it sucks to hear that, I guess you could say.
I just talked about it. It was a tank last year. What do you expect?
I at least win 2 in a row every now and then, but it is what it is. I will say, if this defense holds up the rest of the year,
Super Bowl.
well, I said the defense.
So
if the defense holds, the Flus has to stay at least one more year, right?
Dude, I think he's already solidified his spot. It's so hard for me to say based on the blasphemy that was the first few weeks, but like the way the team is playing, that's rallied. Did you hear them in the broadcast seriously sit there and compare them to the Detroit Lions of last year when they went on that epic run to end the year? Now, if they go on and lose out, I don't know that he had his job. But the bottom line is this team today that they played, the Lions, is probably head and shoulders above any other teams that are going to play down the line.
They're the top team in the NFC North. They're
we're talking Arizona. We're talking Atlanta, Cleveland with Joe Flacco, and then the Packers. So I'm assuming we're probably going to get at least 2 more wins. Now, I would argue that if we got 1 more win, he would probably still be here, just the way the defense is played. Because I think you do have to give him credit. It did happen around the same time as Montez Sweat, so chicken or the egg, you can figure that out. But you gotta give both them due, man. So I mean, what did we watch today? That's fucking what we watched. We watched the defensive domination. That's what I took away.
According to ESPN, which I know we're talking about the game, but a lot of people do want to discuss the future of the Bears. According to ESPN, the Chicago Bears now have an 88% chance of the number 1 pick in the 2024 NFL draft.
Yeah, baby.
This is by ESPN Analytics, which is very interesting to say, which again kind of puts us in that
today after
that's what I just pulled right now from
I think that might be.
I
think it was 88. I saw it was 88 before Carolina lost today. So
okay, I'm basically I'm reading what it.
What do we have? We have 4 games left. Carolina's gonna have to win 3 of them. So good luck to them.
Yeah. This now puts a lot of things into motion where here's the thing, if we beat the Lions but we can't beat the teams that we're supposed to beat, I think the Flus still gets 1 more year. I think the coordinator still has to go. But
I just don't know, man.
It's a tough position to be in because if we were tanking,
okay, we got to keep this moving.
Okay, but let me just finish this, because if we were tanking, this whole Caleb thing, like we're
not tanking. That's not our pick. It's not tanking for Caleb.
No,
Panthers are tanking for us because they suck.
But that's what I'm saying. Like this does change. This does change the outlook of the draft for the Bears if they continue to be successful.
I don't see this organization moving on from Fields. No, let me rephrase that. I don't see this organization moving on from Getsy and having Fields as their quarterback. I don't think it's going to happen unless he gets a new job, unless he leaves. I don't think the Bears will let him go, though. I just think that as much as we sit here and criticize Fields and the offensive coordinator and their role in this offense, I think if we have to start over again, that is a scary proposition to me, because I had to listen all last year to people defend Fields because he was learning a new offense. And I don't want to go through that in Fields' 4th year. I'm sorry.
That's fair. All right. What is the next thing on our list?
Let's jump into the negatives of this game.
All right.
For me, I'll start. You know it. I've said it, I think, every time on this goddamn show. I don't understand why a not play its rookie.
Sorry, you broke. Can you play that one? Can you replay that one more time?
Yes, I can. I don't understand why a 4-8 team does not play their rookie running back. It is besides me. The fact that they keep giving the ball to Dante Foreman Just doesn't make sense. Now, I will sit here and say that Dante Foreman may be the best back on the team, but you're 4-8. You're not making the playoffs. Why are you using a guy on a 1-year deal? It's just not smart football. Now, maybe you could say they're trying to save their jobs, and I guess that could be the reason, but it's like Roschon had a great game last week against Minnesota. Then he comes in and he gets 1 carry. Like, what the fuck are you in your running back situation? I just don't get it. Give the kid the ball. Let him fucking play. If he sucks, then he sucks. Otherwise, let's see what the kid's got. And that's my negative.
I've thought long and hard to kind of come up with a negative. The only thing that I can come up with is that the defense should have had more turnovers. But I'm just kind of nitpicking. I really don't have a true negative. But what I will say.
Okay, I'll take another negative for you.
Well, let me finish at least what I was going to say, asshole. What I will say, though, is the Lions attempting so many 4th downs and not being successful at them did help the Bears with positioning on the field and whatnot.
So that would be a positive.
But any other team, I think that the Lions are a team that they know if they're within a certain place of the field and within a certain yards, they seem to go for it on 4th. I don't think we ever talked about that. I didn't.
You're talking like this is a negative for the Bears. It's not. It's a positive.
Well, I'm saying that it's a negative. I'm saying is a negative in the sense that no other team would attempt so many 4th downs. So.
That's a positive to the Bears. You're not getting this. So let me just say my negative, and then you can continue your thought in the positive section.
Fine.
So my negative is stop running stupid ass, bullshit, awful runs for Fields where he gets his ass kicked, because he's going to be on the sidelines if he keeps getting hit like some of the plays he did today.
It's a running.
So now
it's a running quarterback. I mean, it is what it is.
Did you know that hit I was talking about?
Yeah.
This awful run to the left, and he just got drilled.
Speaking of hits, the fucking linebacker for the Lions trucked the shit out of one of the Bears players. I gotta find. He's the leading tackler for for the Lions. I have to find that clip and just send it to you. It was a great hit. I'm not a Lions fan, but holy shit, that looked impressive. Okay. So
let's go continue with your positives of the Bears.
My positive negative, I guess.
The Lions.
I wouldn't necessarily. Would you really call it stopping if some of the 4th downs were like meh?
Yes, I would. 100%. Like, I think when a team goes 1-5 on 4th down and we stop them 4 out of the 5, I would consider that stopping.
I gotta find more. I gotta find more stats into it. This did help the Bears, obviously, so it is a positive. The defense, we already talked about it. How good they've been. It was very interesting to see how many times though the Lions did run on 4th.
It's an interesting concept, right? You look at the guy from San Diego who has notoriously done similar things. That is basically already set in stone that he's going to be fired at the end of the year. And you question, how aggressive do you want an offense to be from a statistical mindset?
What? Did you say San Diego?
I did. Yes.
There is no
Staley. San Diego. Fuck, whatever.
Okay,
the Chargers, LA Chargers.
I was gonna say this is how much I've drank already, and I'm like, there's no shot that
LA Chargers. Yeah.
Okay.
LA Chargers. That guy, he's done it more than any coach. He runs. He goes for it on 4th down. He basically almost treats it like it's just another play, which is fine if you want to do that. But if you don't get it, then it's not gonna look good. And he's lost a lot of games, and this team is circling the drain with him. So. I don't know. There was some questionable ones out there. There were, and then there were other ones. There was also the questionable one of the Bears run for back-to-back weeks. We ran a 4th and 10 plus.
Yeah.
Last week, did we get it last week too? I think we might have. But I just sit there and you question, we're really going for it on 4th and 10. But hey, when Fields drops a dime, what can you say?
Which goes into my other positive. There was a catch that DJ Moore had that was a fucking bullet from Fields.
Oh, that
And
one across the middle. I was like, holy fuck.
God. No, I don't know if any other receiver could have caught that, but that was all hands and whatever sticky substance was on the gloves.
Yeah.
But that was so impressive. And the 40-yard bomb to Komet, or not a 40-yard bomb, but it was a cross and he was open and Komet ran it for like another 20 or something like that. Like the throws, the play calling was actually decent. I'm not going to say it was the best. There were some, I guess you could say, not scheduled run, but plays made for Fields to run. I still don't like that. I'm not a
You
true
got to
fan
do
of
it. I
it.
get it, but
I just
be better at
don't.
execution.
But I was very happy to see Fields in the pocket, and there was one play which made me very happy, and it was on a negative play. Was he was going to his left, saw that there was people coming, and he was going to go to his right, and instead of trying to force something, he just went down and avoided a turnover. So I found that to be a positive on that aspect.
Yeah. All in all, man. Mine, which was DJ Moore, but all in all, the receivers, they played a good game, man.
It was a good game.
DJ Moore was impressive watching him catch the ball. You just know he's a fucking stud. Even that rush, that was money, man.
Yeah.
Just a playmaker. Just a fucking
also,
playmaker.
The fact that we got a touchdown off of an offsides from like the defense and it was a free play, and Fields, although DJ Moore looked so wide open. I don't know if I got to watch it again. I don't know if the Lions players thought the play was dead, but for Fields to kind of light it up like that. Ah, man.
It was the safety. It was the safety hugged in instead of going deep to help with the coverage. And the corner was expecting safety help. That's why no one was there. But all in all,
it was great.
Yeah,
I hate saying it because we've been shitting on this offensive play calling the whole year, and the yards don't show it. I was telling Boopin this a couple weeks ago. I might be repeating myself, but at this point, I don't care. I think the national average of passing yards is like 220 and down, like 220. Any of the top quarterbacks are like 240 and up. Fields is like right in the middle. If he can hit this number for the rest of the season, I'll be happy. The one thing that I do want to kind of like put out there is I don't think we've seen him throw like 40 or 50 attempts. Do you think that would benefit him in the future, like having that many throws, or do you think that we kind of know the game plan for Fields and it's going to be very small numbers of throwing?
This is what you're getting out of Fields. You're going to get that 250, 60 yards. It's not going to be, you're not going to get these huge games. And the reason why is because, like I've mentioned previously, he's very inconsistent. He can look great. He can have great throws on the field, but then the next drive, he looks like trash. He misses easy throws that he needs to make as an NFL quarterback. So they don't want him to throw the ball that much, which is one of my issues with drafting Marvin Harrison. I mean, he's a stud, but will we really have enough offensive firepower on this team to have him and Moore and Komet involved? I don't know if it's worth it, but we'll see.
That was my phone.
Let's jump into the field score. Where are we at on drafting a new quarterback? I believe if I remember correctly, I don't remember where I was at. I think I was at 3. I think 3. I think I was tied.
I think I was at a 5. I think I was at a 5 and keeping out. Hey, I will give him the benefit of the doubt. I will give him a 6.
So do you now think it's more probable that he will be our quarterback next year?
It's looking that way. I wouldn't say it's necessarily.
Oh, then that's a 5.
Well, but here's the thing: a 6 because he won and he played well. Like I can't not like give him props for it.
This field score is strictly based on will he be our quarterback next year. It's not based on his playing in one game. I am moving mine up from a 3 to a 5. I think it's now become a 50-50 probability that he will be on this team next year.
I think it's 60-40, which is why I'm fine with 6.
Oh, he's officially on board. Run that trade,
I wouldn't
baby.
necessarily say I'm on board, but he played good. I mean, I liked what I saw today. And we're gonna end the podcast with one last thing, which is the positivity score of the Chicago Bears. The Bears are now 5-8 in this young NFL season. Miller, what is your positivity score for the Chicago Bears?
I'm going up with that too. I'm going to a 4.
Wow.
The defense is looking like it's coming together. The moves that we're making, we have the future. We can do so many different things to get this team better. Let's hope that Poles gets it right. Gonna do a 10.
No, I'm not that drunk. I'll say a 5.
You are positive today. You should keep drinking those
You know what
Modelo.
it is? Well, we're not sponsored, but love a Modelo. You know what it is? It's hard to see this team beat a good team given what we've seen the whole season. Like even our predictions were off.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's weird. Like if you
No,
were
what's-
expecting to win is one thing, but the fact that I don't even think we stole the game. I think we just outplayed them in every front. And
oh
that's
yeah, this wasn't a stealing. Not for
yeah,
sure.
like
You know what's
like
sad? You know what you want to hear sad?
what's that?
We had 2 games this year where we had I think 93+% chance of winning them that we lost.
I remember.
And if we get those games back, Denver and the Lions, we're sitting here at 7.
7-6.
Is it 6? Yeah, 7-6. Looking
We
at
would
the
be over
playoff.
500. I mean, listen, you're right. I don't know.
Sad.
I don't know how to feel. I being a fan and kind of seeing stuff the way that I've seen it. I don't know, man.
What do you mean you don't know how to feel?
I
Like
wasn't
you have to feel good as a Bears fan right now.
Yes. But this was not the way I wanted us to feel good. Do you know what I mean?
No.
We all know
Did
this.
not want to have a good dominant defense.
No, listen, I have no complaints about that. I have no
Literally
complaints.
what the monsters of the Midway are built off of defense and running game. That's
What
literally what we have.
What I'm saying is that the Bears won, and I almost felt like I didn't want them to win. Like
Why?
I don't know. I've just been this team has given me so many ups and downs. I just don't know how to feel happiness with this team. I don't know. I'm very happy that we won, but it's just like, how am I going to get my heart broken next week? Are we going to see 4 wide receiver screens? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you trust this offense to be productive the next couple games? Like, that's the thing that scares me is that if this team, I hate not to say we're going Super Bowl. Don't quote me on the Super Bowl. We've already established that the next couple games, actually all the games, are winnable. Which, if they're winnable, I believe that would be a winning record. Which, in the NFC, a winning record has a chance at a possible playoff spot. Whether that happens or not, I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah.
It's funny when it shows in the hunt for the Chicago Bears because of all the bullshit that we've been through. Yeah. And you're right.
It's the mediocrity that this NFL is.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You just sit here as a Bears fan and we don't control whether we get the number 1 pick or not.
You know what I wanted here? I just thought about it. This is what I wanted. I wanted these games to definitively tell me what the Bears are going to do next year. And these last 2 games have changed everything for me. I was thinking
what your goal was
2 weeks ago. I even said the Flus has to go, Getsy has to go, and we're probably trading Fields because we're going to pick up a new quarterback, right? If the Bears have a good offense the next couple of weeks with Fields and Getsy working something out, all of that's gone. Like I can't say like, well, because of what happened as a collection of 2 years or however long Flus has been here. Like, no, you can see the players were like, you could see like someone said it, like, they play hard for the coach, and I didn't agree. Like, you play for your paycheck, you play for your stats, whatever. And someone had made the comment, like, you can tell, like, this guy, the players want to play for him. I see that a little bit. I see it with DJ Moore and Fields. Like, you can kind of tell, like, they're playing for something more than just the season.
Yeah, even on the defensive side of the ball as well. I mean, they play hard and they play fast, and they're
and it's his defense. It's his defense.
It is. They're looking competent, and that's what you want to see out of the defense. So I think we're in a great spot because, like, you rudely interrupted me. We don't control what happens with that number 1 pick. Another team.
We don't.
But that means we can build on our team. We can
build. We can even trade back.
We don't have to be upset about it because you know what? We still have that number 1. And when we go up to that podium, it might not be that number 1 pick. We may trade back to 2. You don't know. And get another haul. And that's still in the cards.
Yep. Which is not what we were talking about a couple weeks ago. And that's the thing, to kind of go from that avenue of a bar being set to now raising the bar and kind of doing something different. That's to me the scary part, because if the Bears keep winning, our positioning, not the Panthers position, but our positioning goes, further away from number 1. So that trade or that pick now becomes, I wouldn't say useless. Like, we can definitely use that to build whatever we want to build upon. But I was looking at like a 1st and 4th, or I was looking at a 1st and you know what I'm saying? So, like, all of this is just changing it. And as much as I enjoyed watching today, I had fun watching today. When that game was over and I sat down, I was like, fuck, like, could this be the beginning of something? It is, but it wasn't what we were talking about for the past.
It wasn't because we were looking at, and now we're really not. But that's what you want. You want to see this progress that we're making. Whether Fields is the guy or not will be the debate for the rest of the year, especially if we get that number 1 pick. But
what I don't want to happen is if we go the route of not drafting a quarterback, we bring in a vet to kind of like help Fields along, kind of what happened with Mitch. And at the end of the day, that vet just replaced Mitch during the season, which, I mean, you can kind of tell the writing was on the wall. It needed to happen. I just didn't like that it happened the first game. But like, if you're finding that kind of movement to say like, all right, like, Fields is our guy. I mean, I hate to drag this on, but like, then you're possibly thinking extension because you can probably get him on the cheap. Like, the scenario, the scenario just changed completely. So I don't know what to expect. I'm very happy that the Bears won. We were wrong in our predictions. Shout out to Boopin for getting the pick right. We are going to continue with our normal episodes during the week. We record on Wednesdays to post on either Thursday or Fridays, depending if our software decides to work, which
I think it's depending if CJ, our producer, decides to work.
CJ's been struggling, man. CJ's not living the life like he used to. You can't blame him. But we want to thank everyone for all the continued support here on Facebook. We see a lot of people are watching our page. We thank you for that. Please continue to drop in some comments, drop in some likes. We are available on YouTube for those that follow on YouTube. We're going to try to be more productive on this, and I'm going to try to convince the boys to record a live episode one of these days. With that being said, we are the Trio of Positivity podcast. We're going to be signing off on this Bears win. They beat the Lions 28-13 and are still in the hunt for a playoff.
Yeah, we are. Let's go. Super Bowl 2024. Let's go to Vegas, baby.
I am Chris. This is my buddy Miller, part of the Positivity Brigade. Thank you guys so much, and bear down.
Bye-bye.